Alrighty, let's hop into it. I guess from my thoughts on where we should start today, I think a good starting place would be to kind of see where we're at after the break and playing a bit more this week. I think from where we left off right before the break, we were kind of on the uptrend, and then our session last week, we kind of were doing a drill day to kind of hopefully ease back into it a little bit more. So today is going to be more of a checkup on to see how we're progressing mechanically, and if we need to, I guess, make any pivots in terms of maybe we need to spend more time in the mechanics training, or if it's about time to look at a bit more decision making stuff to see if we're at a mechanics threshold. But I guess from your point of view, how did the week of games feel? Did it feel like you were de-rusting for a little bit? Like, what was it like?
A little, but it was also very inconsistent. If you look at the last, well, they weren't comp games because I started getting a little frustrated. I
Hmm.
did a couple Swift play, and one of them I was like top of the leaderboard, and then the second one I was bottom of the leaderboard. Like the last two games, I was like, what on earth just happened? It felt like whiplash, honestly.
Right. I gotcha. I wonder if it's like based on who you're playing against. It looks like in this one here, you're playing against this diamond guy.
Oh,
Let's see. What's
I
this
didn't even
one?
look at that.
Yeah, it looks like there's an iron in this one. So it could be ranked distribution. That's something that in
Yeah.
terms of just ranked for lower elo, not even Swift play, but you might be playing against quite a bit of Smurfs. So
Mm,
um in terms of ranked itself, you could have that whiplash feeling as well in there. But in this Swift play, just looking at the ranks, it seems like that's the case as well. But
okay.
inconsistent, that makes sense. Um that's valid.
And then
Go ahead.
um, I did a lot more death matches as well, and um, playing Nice, one of my mods is saying I should tell you about. I accidentally didn't record one of my death matches. I played it on stream when I didn't know I was streaming, so it was just a black screen the whole time, and then me talking.
Nice, nice. More death matches though. Do you feel like those are going better? I know we talked about outlining the death matches in like the burst and then the one spray. What was your experience
Yeah.
like with that? Was it
Yeah, I think that that has helped me a lot. If not in like actual, um, like if it doesn't show up in my scores, it at least shows up in my heart. I definitely feel a difference.
yeah, mechanics is a lot of intuition. The goal is to eventually get the deathmatch training over to feel one to one in a ranked game, but it almost never will be. But
Mhm.
it's the best we can do with the environment we have. Like the most one to one simulated environment would be having your like ranked game at low stakes and then going into that as well after. But we don't really have that in this game, so unrated is not really a good example. But
Okay.
um, it could be potentially at our rank, but yeah, okay. So that's sounds like it was a interesting week in terms of the consistency. The VOD that I want to take a look at just because it was really close, and I feel like we haven't looked at Split really closely ever, if at all, actually. Yeah, maybe never.
Yeah.
Um, so I felt like it was good to take a look at this game just because, given our options here, it's one of the better ones. Um, did you have any, I guess, particular comments on the Split game itself?
I messaged it to you privately, but like it was a really long game. I
Hmm.
guess it was pretty evenly matched, and by the end of it, everyone was like, "Please, everyone, just forfeit or like do the draw." So,
Just get out.
um, yeah, it took a while for us to get there, but I felt pretty decent about it. It also maybe sometimes because it was so evenly distributed, like I looked at the throughout the game, I was looking through the leader or the scoreboard or whatever, and it's like everyone is pretty much the same on each tier. I don't know
Right.
if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it in gamer terms, but like the lower is the same as the other team's lower. Yeah.
Right, right. I gotcha. Okay, okay. Um, okay. Let's take a look at this. I want to look at this game from the lens of like mechanics implementation from
Mm-hmm.
last week. So that's like one thing I'll be looking out for. And then the other thing I'll just be looking out for more so is like how we're using the deadlock kit. But this part is probably going to be like 20% of my attention if I was gonna kind of put it out like that, and then this is going to be like the more important 80%. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at this VOD yourself, or anyone in chat that's in the lower ranks that want to review themselves. Typically, when you look at your own games at this rank, it's going to be mainly mechanics. So let's kind of hop into it.
Notifications. Oh my god.
You have audio? Is it too
So
quiet?
popular. Oh, it's my mom.
I have audio.
Okay,
I don't know if chat does though.
I gotcha. They might not. They might not. It would have to be from Discord, but okay. So it looks like we're heading all B side.
Still in sight. Enemy spotted. Throw
Yeet.
Reloading.
Okay, so the actual gunfight looks good. Let's go back and take a look real quick. So it looks like we're going out on the B exec here. What I can kind of immediately tell at the first start, this is probably a good reminder because I know we didn't really talk about peeking last time. We were only really talking about just the shoot, move, which you'll see we do pretty well against this guy. So the important thing in this game, honestly, is the setup. So setting up before your fight is arguably the thing that leads to the most success with the gun duel. What I'm trying to say is the actual gun duel, like once you're in the open out of cover, is less important than prepping for the fight and pre-aiming properly. So that kind of goes into your crosshair placement. So having good pre-aim first, and then actually being in a good distance. So like a bad fight might be here, whereas a good fight might be here. And kind of, Zaska calls this the setup, which I'll just steal his terminology here. But you kind of set up, you take 2 steps out and then you peek. So if you wanted to slice the angle a bit more, you would back up 2 steps out, you peek, and then 2 steps out, you peek. That's not super important here, but in this example, but what I want to highlight specifically is we didn't do the setup at all because we kind of just ran out with diagonal movement. You'll see here, we're holding W kind of going around the corner.
Yeah.
First, you want to strafe out and then you want to go. And then in this case here, if you were to fight Heaven, which we didn't, we do the nade. But if we were, you would set up here. So boom, set up, crosshair ready. And then you would strafe out, just only A and D. And then you continue going. And then right when you're back here, you would set up for, let's just say this angle here, AD, and kind of just come out. So making sure that all your fights are ready before you take it. And you'll notice we did actually know that Reyna was coming out, but our crosshair isn't actually ready for it. And ideally a crosshair is trying to be preemptively in the wall to be ready for this. So
Okay.
you can see the actual like gunfight itself, once we adjusted the crosshair and started moving, looked good, which makes sense given what we practiced the previous week. So that is very nice to see the implementation even on the first round here. It seems like maybe the thing we could work on for this week is being very intentional with those pre-aims and kind of coming out. And if we wanted to, we could go into a custom and do this. It's going to be a little bit clunky for you because you're on an NA account, unless I can get my hands on an EU account and jump over to your servers. But basically what I would want you to do, if given what we're seeing now, is I would probably be kind of like what we did in Icebox, actually, where I would just be standing here, and then I would make sure that you would be peeking this with proper intention. So we could drill that at the very end here, but this is only one round. Oh, really good tapping here though. So I wonder if this is a strong argument to show that even if your peeking technique is, I guess, weaker in the lower ranks, it doesn't have that much of an effect because you're able to kind of survive the initial engagement. Because like what you'll notice is the Reyna actually doesn't insta-kill us, right? Like she misses her first couple of shots, and so does the Phoenix. Which means that potentially, if we're talking about like the actual setup into the fight and then the actual like fight itself, normally the setup is actually more important. Like this this would be more important. Normally, I would probably weigh this like 80% more important than the fighting, the actual gunfight itself, 20%. But maybe in this rank, it's like closer to 50-50 because as you kind of climb the ladder, you kind of you almost insta-die sometimes. And maybe we aren't at that stage yet. So what am I trying to say? I like the implementation of what we did last week. So that's really good. Like we kind of just shit on 2 people. Let's keep going. This round's probably gonna be over soon. Yeah, okay. 2v5, 1v4, whatever. We'll skim through this round 2 here. Vibing with our Reyna here. Then we go back to mid. Okay. Go with the spike.
Enemy spotted. Mid.
Okay, so I do like our movement here. You see the crosshair didn't quite make it before we turned the corner, but you can see we started going for the D movement here, which is nice. But yes, ideally, premium wise, our crosshair would be in the wall.
Enemy spotted. Mid.
But we start coming out here. Let's see how we scale with our Sage. Okay. So the little net, fine. There's a couple things I could touch on, but I want to see the rest of this first.
Enemy spotted. Mid.
Okay, let's go back. So
Enemy spotted. Mid.
one thing that you might want to notice as you're scaling up mid right here is if you notice your Sage is out in the peripheral of your vision here, this is a good fundamental topic to talk on. I'll try to only make my comments fundamental stuff, but in this case here, you have your teammate on the right. Right, so the Sage is scaling up the right. Your player here is looking this left side. So since you're on the other side, I don't know the exact term for this, but basically you just want to fill in the gap. So if your Sage is looking left, technically you should be looking right so that you cover each other's blind spot. But more importantly, so you don't get shot on the side. Because like if you're coming up here, there could be a player on this side and this side. So let me run through another example on another part of the map so it kind of makes sense. If say I have like player A staring at this line here, player B behind them would probably look at this line here just to pick up a different angle. Then as this player A looks towards A ramp, player B that was now looking on this side here would then transition to go back and look at this side. Basically just filling in whatever the other guy isn't looking. Then player A scales, peak sight. Player B would then move crosshair back to look up here. So whatever they're not looking at, you look separately, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be physically close to them. So ideally, as player A peeks out here, player B is also right here ready to swing just in case they need to get the trade. But before they do that, they're looking up here.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
let's relate this back to your position here, right? So your Sage is kind of over here staring into B heaven. Boop. Ideally, what we're doing here is we're holding, say, like, maybe we're clearing this close right angle, maybe we're holding this. And then as soon as your Sage shoots, if you feel like you want to go for the trade, this is when you would swing out and just immediately go for that. So that like quick pivot movement is quite important, but the more important thing I want you to see here is just making sure your crosshair is looking at the other threat that you're exposing to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
My other threat or Sage's other threat.
Yes, correct. Like if you're further back,
Okay.
yeah. And then we went this one. Okay, so this is fine. Let's take a look at first gun. Okay, your chamber is swinging. Same with the pre-aim here. That's probably going to be something we want to intentionally practice, just these drills a little bit more. Just making sure we round that corner properly.
Enemy spotted. Mid.
And then similar case here, you see Reyna's looking here, Sage is looking here. We would immediately recognize that or try to, and then pick up this angle here, which technically your chamber actually has it. So that's quite nice. Given this situation, it might actually make the most sense for you to have util out. Since all the angles are covered, you might like actually wall off ropes instead, but that's kind of the idea. Pick up whatever your teammate's not looking at. And you actually see this guy start shooting. So I think we heard the rope sound. Yeah, right there, the rope tagged, which this flash is taking precedence here. But in the back of your head, if you know that your Reyna is taking first on this left side, our focus awareness should actually be more in ropes. So maybe that's why we were able to pick it up in hindsight. But yeah, this guy here, thankfully the chamber gets the kill. So that's kind of what I was saying earlier. If our chamber wasn't here, it's 100% our job to making sure that we cover ropes there. But shout out chamber, he actually just sat the entire round there, which is a little bit crazy. But he filled in that gap for us. Oh, looks like there was another player there. So let's see what we're scaling up.
Down mid.
Okay. Good kill here.
Spike down mid.
I guess the main thing I want to point out to for this is I like that you didn't like freak out and just like pause. You decided to go forward and hunt the kill. I think that is really good. One thing that you do want to note is a crosshair placement as we're kind of coming around the corner. Potentially you could preem this. Like if I slow this down very to like 0.5, you'll see as we come around, our crosshair is kind of tracing the edge, but not quite. Expecting the gecko here, which maybe you saw the molly and thought he was further back, but let me kind of just do it in slow-mo. I'll do it with shift walking. If I shift walk here and I'm kind of backing up, ideally you're tracing the edge the whole time like that, to kind of get that kill a little bit quicker. So as soon as he appears on your screen, you can just shoot. But the more traditional way when you're peeking an angle is actually to do the pre-aim thing and then to peek out. So if you wanted to kind of chase this guy, you could actually just pre-aim the whole time and then kind of come out, which then leads into the question, when should you trace an angle when you're peeking versus when should you pre-aim and you peek? Have we talked about this, or have you learned about this?
Did we talk about it when we were talking about distance?
I think so, yeah.
Where we are? Okay.
So what do you remember from that?
So are we using this like the thing behind the planter as our maybe
distance
point of reference?
Yes. Yeah.
For distance. Okay. So since we're farther away, maybe we would use the step out, and then if we were closer, we would be tracing.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember because we talked about it when I did something similar with Neon, who was behind another box on Fracture, I think. So that's what I'm thinking of, but maybe I got it backward.
Yeah, it is backwards. But
damn it.
Maybe the easiest way to remember this is actually, what's the easiest way? The way that I remember it is I like to pre-aim the angle if I'm at a disadvantage, I guess. Or is that accurate to say? Maybe the way you think about it is just if I'm further, then you trace. And then if you're not further, then you just pre-aim. But generally, a lot of the fights you take in this game are going to be pre-aim fights. So it's a bit hard. There's a bit of nuance here, but maybe I can explore the nuance a little bit. Okay, so if this player is close to the box here, we know that their shoulder sticks out, right? I think we talked about this one time. So if this player's shoulder sticks out and you pre-aim into the box, you actually might not be as ready to shoot the guy when his shoulder sticks out, right? So that's why we trace, because if his shoulder sticks out, we can react to it a bit quicker. And they're also more likely to just wide swing you if they are super close to cover like that to try to go out. So by tracing instead of pre-aiming, your adjustment isn't as big if they swing you. Maybe I'll leave it at that. There is a lot of nuance with peeking, but I don't want to overcomplicate it too much. Let's just keep it as simple as if you feel like you're further away from the angle or the point of reference, like you referred to it, just trace it. And then if you're not, then just pre-aim it. That's probably a good starting point. But again, I like that you just chased this guy down. That is quite nice. I would have liked to see potentially no blue bars, but this, I will say, gets a pass just because there's a molly there. And then last player, I believe, was on B side. Let's see. Oh yeah, there he goes. Okay, so I don't expect you to catch the awareness in the moment here, but just so you see it in hindsight, your Omen ends up dying to the Reyna there. Which
yeah.
I don't expect you to notice that at this point, but even if we weren't aware of the Reyna here, this is where we would try to approach those angles one by one, which is where those custom drills could be useful. So we did kind of pick that first angle decently, like we're aware of that first angle back sight, which is this one. But then after that, we weren't aware of the possible threats here. And to be fair, there's a ton below you as well. So that's a little bit scary, but let me show you what it might look like if I'm in this situation. I'd probably peek out. I'd probably back up actually, and then peek on this one. Then from there, the next angle would be this pillar. And then from here, I kind of will just wide swing openly towards this general vague area. And hopefully I can adjust my crosshair. But that's typically the order is 1, 2, and then general vague area. If you have an idea that he's actually like below you instead, you would probably peek this and then jiggle all these lower angles, or you might just peek new box, this angle here, next to the box, and then you kind of come out. But a good rule of thumb is if there's just too many angles to worry about, you just jiggle it. So you could just jiggle all of this, and that would have been really good. Boom. Or you could have just jump spotted. But info is probably one of the most important things in this game in terms of how to peek, right? Like, I don't know how else to say it, but if I was, let me give an example. Okay, so let's say like I knew for a fact there was a player on this angle here, that angle right there, then I would kind of just pre-aim this and swing it and get the kill. But if I don't know where any player is on this angle, I would have to swing out and then I see the target. So swing out, see the target, and then I would shoot. It's a lot slower, right? Compare this swing to this swing. It's way faster if you have the info. So getting the info first, if you don't have it, is where jiggles come in. And then now you know where he is. Let's say I jiggle and I see this guy. Jiggle. Oh, he's there. And then now you can swing confidently and get the kill. But if you don't have that info, then that's where you slice the pie or you jiggle. So in this case here, if I'm just peeking one by one, I would do the setup properly. Peek out, slice, and then peek out, slice, peek out, slice. Honestly, I kind of messed that one up. Ideally, it should be something like that. But now you would get the kill hopefully a little bit easier. But in this case here, it's really hard to slice all of these angles, right? Very hard. So that's probably where I would just throw in a jiggle. But hopefully I'm making sense here. The TLDR is if you can slice the angle, it's better. But if there's a ton of angles here, this is where you'd probably prefer jiggling.
Okay.
Which goes back to the customs. Customs could help with this, but let's keep going. Okay, we are kind of chilling, which is something to maybe comment on. Ideally in the first about, I would say 10 seconds of the round, that looks like iOS, the first 10 seconds of the round is where we should be looking for something. So notice how if you look at the minimap right now, your Sage is peeking into A, and your Chamber is peeking into B, and your Omen is trying to walk up mid with the smoke, right? So based on this screenshot here, 3 of our teammates are doing something in the first 10 seconds of the round, whereas Urena just came back from spawn, it looks like, and we're kind of just vibing. So given proximity, it actually makes the most sense for us just to continue B main right now because our Chamber is right next to us.
Okay.
But
yeah, I think I was a little confused because we were all split up and I'm not used to that on attack. I'm used to everyone sticking together.
I gotcha.
So I didn't know really what to do.
A good rule of thumb on split is if you work mid, it's going to go pretty well most of the time. On other maps, that's not really the case. So a good rule of thumb in general is just to go wherever your closest teammate is. So in this case, just walk B main with your Chamber. But in the future, for split, typically most people want some type of mid pressure. So
okay.
But yeah, you can see your Chamber has that B line. You could just walk up B main with this guy. Or you could just walk across the angle here and get into B main. That would be fine. I think he actually ends up dying too. So it's a bit hindsight. Yeah, he ends up fighting this guy here. So in hindsight, if we just continued with the Chamber, you might have gotten that Reyna fight. And in the other world of possibility, we could have been with the Omen and maybe gotten that trade. This will just make your life a bit more, I guess, straightforward in where your gun duels are. I will say I like the quick flick here. It's like we did hear that guy last second. Let's see one more time. This first peek I'm pretty happy about, actually. If he was there, you probably get the insta-kill. The crosshair placement's pretty good. We dipped down because we saw the flash, but right before we do, if I can freeze frame it properly. This crosshair placement's good. The movement looks pretty strong here. I would say this is a 10 out of 10 peek.
Yippee!
So that's good. Pretty interesting that we see it there and not the other rounds we went mid. I wonder what the Q is, I guess. Like maybe we're just more aware because our Omen died here. I'm not sure. What do you think, I guess? Like why do you think you're way more ready for this fight in particular compared to the other rounds when you're in mid?
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's just something that just switched on.
I don't remember at this point.
Sure. And then, you know, that is this is where that spray training could come into play because this player is so close. If you just immediately saw this player and just went for like a flick and then spray, you probably would have gotten that kill. I don't know if you noticed, but we did 120 damage. Like this could have just been a free kill right there if we just committed to it. Because this guy actually sprayed us back moving and got the headshot, but we could have easily gotten a kill there with 160 and 4 bullets instead of 120 and 3.
Yeah.
So something to think about. Spraying do be very nice at those close ranges. Let's keep going though. Oh, this guy clutch? This guy smurfing?
I felt like it a little bit.
Yeah, he's planning heaven, and he's instantly going spawn. Yeah, it looks like this guy's smurfing. You don't see that positioning in bronze.
Enemy removed. One enemy
Yeah, good
remaining.
spray control too.
Here.
My guess would probably be like at least gold. And he's going heaven wrap. He peeked it kind of poorly, but my guess is that's an alt. That's probably an alt.
Bonne chance, mes amis.
Which is a shame. Okay, so same thing as before. In terms of starting round position, if you wanted to keep it simple, you would go with the team. But you could also argue, if you knew now, going mid is always good. So that's fine too. Let's see what ends up happening. Looks like we're playing for the flank. Okay, I could see you're like actively moving your crosshair over, which is quite nice. The main thing to consider here potentially is just backing up to give yourself a little bit more breathing space. Because when you're clearing angles from this close to the wall, it's very hard to actually slice the pie. So if you wanted to kind of come out and back up a little bit more, this would make it a lot easier. Now you actually have distance from the wall. Does that make sense?
What's the benefit of the distance?
You get to isolate angles more. So let's kind of just show it. So if I'm this close to the wall and I peek out, let's say here, I might overexpose to this. Or if I wanted to peek to this box, I might accidentally expose to this. And my
Oh, okay, I
shoulder
see.
will actually peek out to this angle here. So if you back up a little bit more, I can now slice this box first, this one here, and then I can slice the right side, and then I can slice the box, and then I can walk up and slice this, and then now I can actually clear the rest. So distance helps a ton with this. The alternative is just to jiggle all of these, but I would say that's probably more advanced.
I think for this one, the Sage actually told me to flank.
I
I
gotcha.
don't remember though if it was this game or another one.
I gotcha. Well, you should have an opening here, so we'll see. Okay. Good rule of thumb is if you are lurking, you don't use util until you shoot someone first, because they might not know. But that's one of the reasons. So it gives away your position, so they kind of wide swing you. But it's actually insane. This guy just wide swung into a nade. Yeah, good rule of thumb though. If you're lurking, just save the util. I want to see the actual fight itself. Did we have time?
Throwing net.
Not too much, but notice how your instant reaction when you see the target
Throwing.
is to just immediately shoot. That's a reaction that I actually don't want to override. I just want to add to it. So I think that what you'll see a lot from a lot of high level players is when there's a player that appears on their screen, they'll just shoot quickly and then they'll move. I would say for like most intermediate level players, when they get caught off guard, they'll just immediately move instead of shooting. But I think it might be a little bit easier, potentially, for you to add to your current reaction rather than override. So here we're immediately shooting. Just take that quick shot and then strafe rather than kind of commit to it. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
That's something maybe we could train as well in the drill. I could just strafe into your screen and then you shoot really quickly and then strafe and then go for another shot. That's like a good way to practice angle holding. So we could try that.
Okay.
Let's keep going though. Okay, so I do like that we're trying to pick a teammate, and this guy, he has the spike, so really good to be with your teammate. I'm surprised this guy is pushing. Most people don't push this aggressively. Okay, so good movement here. This is something that I think we've been doing well, is we would shoot first and then always take our strafe, so it seems like this is really becoming habit. At least I would say like 80% of the time. We are moving pretty frequently. We did it on pistol round, we did it on I'm trying to think. We had one of the other fights as well, but we are moving pretty frequently, which is good. From what I can see so far, the main two things mechanically that I would want to work on is potentially that angle holding thing that we just talked about in mid, and then the pre-aiming, the crosshair placement with the peaks and stuff. I mean, both of those we could drill in a custom.
Spike down.
And then the only game sense thing that we would probably look at is trying to be a little bit physically closer to our teammate. So notice how your Sage is jumping up here. you have two options. So you could do option 1, which we talked about in mid, actually just covering his angle that he's not looking at, and then getting close to this wall so you can kind of trade out. That's option 1. Option 2 is actually just ignoring this angle completely and then trying to go for the trade, like a up-down peek because he's going up top. I'd probably opt for option 1 here, but that is something you could think about doing here. Notice how we're getting close, we aren't looking at the right side. And then when he actually does shoot, we didn't go for the trade. So we're missing both opportunities there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I guess the recap for me so far is mechanically we could work on angle holding and that kind of reaction. 2 is the custom drills to peek, cream, crosshair placement, all that stuff. And then game sense wise, I would say trying to find a teammate and sticking to them. And our main goal when we are with that teammate is to cover their side and then be ready to play off of them, which you could probably put in together. So that's honestly quite a bit to work on. So maybe I'll write that down really quickly. Let's see. Mechanics. Angle holding reaction. Shooting first and then immediately strafing. And then the other one is crosshair, I should say peeking technique, crosshair placement, setup with distance from angle, from wall, and then strafes out. And then game sense, maybe I'll specify attack, is cutting out the first 10 or so seconds of downtime. We would do that by finding a teammate to follow / support off of barrier. And then we would cover the angle that they aren't looking at while trying to be close enough to go for the trade. So let's kind of reenact that really quickly on this main angle. Sage is walking up on this box. We recognize that. We come here, pick this angle. Sage is now peeking left side. We walk up so that as soon as Sage peeks and shoots, we're ready to pivot and go for that shot. If you're playing a lot more passively and you don't want to run into the crossfire potentially, because there could be a player here, then technically you don't even have to push the trade. You just sit here hoping this guy overswings. But that is a lost opportunity. So in this same example, Sage is going up in this box, taking this fight into sight. Ideally, we're holding this angle here so Sage doesn't have to worry about it. Then as soon as Sage shoots player on sight somewhere, we should be able to hear the shot, look at minimap. So eyes go up to the left, process where the target is. So let's just say he's here. And then pre-aim, and then peek. That's quite a bit of steps. So we'll try to practice that in the custom as well.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe this is a good stopping place in terms of looking at the VOD, despite us winning. We're up 5-1 right now. I think we have quite a bit of stuff to drill down, and that's probably going to be more useful for our time. So I guess 2 questions. Well, the main question would be, would you rather do it on your servers? And if so, I would need an account from chat that's in EU so I can log into it. That probably would be more supportive of you though, to do it on your own servers.
Oh, you think so? Because I was going to say I can log into my NA account if it makes it easier.
It would make it easier, but the ping difference probably would be nicer if you're on EU. So I guess it would just be if I'm able to get an EU account, which I've never logged into one before. Is it the same as like, do I just log out and log into an EU account? Is it that straightforward?
Yeah, I could probably make one for you real quick.
We could try that. I don't know the process. I've never logged into another region before.
I can't remember how to do it. Let me see.
Okay. We'll see how that goes. Someone in chat says I have one if you want. Yeah, if you could send me the details. I've never done this before because honestly I wanted to avoid getting banned, but I don't know if it's a big deal. I see everyone just do it, so.
Will I get banned for having my NA account?
No, oh, sorry, no. I mean banned in the sense of account sharing because I guess I would be.
Oh, I see. I
yeah,
see.
logging on
Well,
someone else's.
It's for you.
Yeah.
Let's see.
For some reason, I feel like Deadlock's nade should be on C. I mean, yeah. Like this is like. Oh, I'm probably thinking that because they switched the order of the abilities. It used
Yeah,
to
that was
be.
a little confusing for me at first because I
Yeah.
just finally got used to something and then it got switched.
Yeah. Do you have to rebind it, or did you rebind it?
I didn't. I just tried to learn it because I don't think that they would change it twice. Surely they wouldn't change it twice.
Surely. Yeah. I guess they did that because of the. Does it come back? Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah, that's why. I want all signatures to be on the same. Then on disk? Okay, okay. Let me hide my screen. Someone did send me an account. So
Okay.
maybe I could just do that instead. Let me not leak anything. I've never done this before. Is it literally just log in?
Here, I'll put a cover on mine just in case. Because I'm still sharing your screen.
Accept new terms and service. Logging in. The account does not have deadlock, which is fine. I don't need agents. You log in, client updates, you log us into EU. Okay. I wonder how difficult it would be to get to Radiant EU on EU ping. Has anyone done that before? They played on EU
Not
server?
me.
I know NA or EU people play in NA servers and get to Radiant,
Oh, really?
but the threshold for Radiant's a lot lower for NA versus EU. So EU people have gotten Radiant NA, yeah, exactly. I don't know about the other exactly. Okay,
Do you have to add me? Here, I'm booting mine up.
okay. I could just yeah, I guess I would just type your name in this thing. You don't have to
I
add
think
me.
it's just Squidbeak.
Oh yeah, I have your tracker actually. Squidbeak. Let me know when you're in. So EU greater than NA? Yes.
Oops. The Kiwi screen does have sound effects, but I usually have music playing on top of it, so you can't really hear it.
Kiwi screen.
The cover screen that I had to hide your.
Oh. Your camera went out. Is that just me?
Yeah, yours did too. I
I
think it might have been because I accidentally left the
okay.
thing. I closed my tab to avoid leaks and then closed everything on accident.
Gotcha. Do you need the link again?
No, I can grab it.
What's up, Zypher?
Wait, I thought it was in the notification thing now.
It will be if I do this. Action already taken. I said nope, that does not work. Never mind. You might have to use the
Okay,
link
maybe
again.
I do need to.
Yeah.
Here comes Kiwi again. Let's see.
Single monitor setup?
No, I have two, but sometimes it just opens on the wrong one.
Oh. I see.
Okay, there we go.
We're back.
My bad.
All good.
And I'm in now, so you should be able to add me.
Invited?
Unless I have like a setting blocking something, I don't know.
You should have gotten the invite. It's not a friend invite. It's just a party invite. Wait, maybe I misspelled it. Would be 8888. Oh, wait.
Oh yeah, I do have only allow party requests from friends. Okay.
Oh. Yeah. Good setting to have, to be honest. Let's do splits, and you have the 4 ping to. Yep, perfect. Paris is it then. Let's put you on attackers. I'll play defender.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Let's see. Where should we start with drill? Have angle holding reaction, and we have. What am I looking at? Oh, peeking technique, and then we have game sense attack. Scaling with the teammate. Let's see. Let's start with the angle holding one, because honestly, that'd probably be the most straightforward. So I have to pick. Let's just pick Sage.
I am both shield and sword.
4 ping. Yeah, 4 ping. The angle holding actually might be insane.
I live in the server.
That's what I need. You could have been a Fortnite gamer.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah, steal everyone's walls.
Actually, if I end up upgrading my CPU, it'll be kind of overkill maybe.
I can
with the
feel their
fucking-
deadlocked sadness.
All good.
Perhaps we should send her to her
We'll take it.
sisters.
Right.
My ultimate's ready.
Let's go in that same fight. So I'm gonna be top heaven. Be heaven.
Should I
And
go in from mid?
yes, and you'll go in from it exactly. Okay. Let's see. I want you to come here and hold this angle. I got the ping. You're gonna hold this angle here with your rifle. Yeah, these keybinds are something. I'm holding right click and my thing is bugging out. Hold that angle. I'm gonna swing into you and you just shoot. Don't even adjust your crosshair right away. Just shoot. If you kill me, great. That means that your crosshair placement and your action time was timed perfectly. But if you miss, that's fine. Oh wait, I should show you what happens. So let me just show you without explaining it. Pretend like I swing. And then I want you to just take a strafe and go to the side.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you kill me on the first burst, great. If you miss, just take a shot. Or wait, if you miss, just strafe and shoot again. Okay. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Oops.
That's okay. That's okay. I actually need to look at your screen. I forgot. Can you screen share for me?
Yes.
Then I'm gonna pop it up on my second here. I'm going to be staring at this.
This one? This one?
Perfection. So, fortunately, chat won't be able to see that from my POV, but I'm gonna be looking. So, go ahead.
Oops, I didn't even shoot.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Sorry, I kind of did it off. Yeah, okay, so ready?
Mhm.
Okay, so there, I would want you to. Okay. What am I trying to say? Right there, you actually did it I would say the better way, where you actually did it shoot first and you strafed first when you saw me. But in order to train angle holding in like an ideal scenario, when I swing you, the ideal scenario is actually for you just insta kill me, right?
Okay.
So if you do the movement thing as your first reactions, it means that you won't ever have the opportunity to insta kill. So I'd rather go down that step first. So shoot first and then strafe. Ready?
Okay.
That is good. That is good. That is good. Maybe I should stop strafing, but that is good. That is good. That is good. Okay, so right there, I probably we could clip it too and take a back and look at it, but potentially you might be holding a little too tight. Yeah, a little bit wider. Perfect. Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Oops, I accidentally right clicked.
Yeah, right click. That's okay. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to strafe out, and I'm not gonna strafe again, just so you can have that initial thing. So I'm gonna strafe out once, and then shoot, and then strafe out, and then stop, and I won't do anything after. But
Okay.
what I want you to do is shoot, strafe, shoot, and ideally you kill me on the first. And if you don't kill me on the first, you'll kill me on the second. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's go. No, it's okay. That's okay. We'll just keep drilling this rep in now. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. Are you a Phantom user now?
I guess it's just because after I got this skin, the other
Yeah.
one sounded so much louder, so I just stick to this one.
God damn it. Okay. Okay. That was good. You saw the insta-dink? That was really ideal.
Yeah.
It's just your gun is shit. But no, I'm kidding. The Phantom is actually better. It's just you won't get the
I
insta-kill.
can switch. It's just that it's so loud, but I can turn the volume down. It's fine.
Both are good. Both are good. Let me try to balance my second screen a little bit more. Like looking at this and this. Fuck, wrong button. Yeah, I moved my Valorant on the second. Hold on. No, I'm messing up. Okay, let's do it like that, and then that goes here, and that goes here. Okay, perfect. My screen share better? I'm ready. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready. Wah!
Okay, let's keep going. Good.
Oops. Wah!
Oh shit. Let's get on the respawn.
How do I turn it on?
Beats and then auto respawn.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Oh yeah, that was insta-kill. That one probably felt good. That's good. Nope. Good. Am I swinging in a different way each time?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm trying to get you to get the insta kill, but it's just like not happening. Maybe I'm just pre-aiming properly or wrong, but okay, that's good. I think I was peeking the angle different every time because I'm looking at your screen when I'm peeking. That might be, yeah.
Okay.
Let me look at my screen. Okay, that's close though. We could probably speed up that transition. So what I'm seeing you're doing here is you're shooting, right? And then you're going really wide to take your second. I think
Oh, yes.
technically that is
Should I not?
probably better, but I feel like you could probably speed it up a little bit. I feel like you could probably do something like this, where you're like shooting pretty quickly after. Let's try it.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, I did the same thing though.
No, you insta-killed me, so that was good. Yeah. Okay. Reading that first part down. Okay, little bit quicker on that.
Okay.
What are you telling yourself, I guess, when to stop? Like, what's the cue for you? Is it just instinctual? On the
I
second?
guess. Nothing that well, I'm just trying to aim on you, I guess.
Yeah. Don't think about the actual getting the thing onto me that much. Maybe focus more on me rather than getting your crosshair onto me, and then just feel it out.
Okay.
Like, don't overthink it type of thing.
Okay.
That looks better. We're working on angle holding right now. Good. 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 Good.
Ah.
It's okay. It's okay. I feel like this is probably what would happen in your game. Someone would swing out and just insta crouch, so that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Probably. Oh no.
That's honestly a misclick, but okay. Our angle holding reaction is good. Let's switch it to another angle so if we still have that on all angles. You hold me here. So let's see, what do I want? I want you here just in the open so you can't run away. Hold this somewhere there. And I'm just gonna run and same thing.
Okay.
But I'll just lag. Okay, you ready?
Uh-huh. Oh,
That was an accident. Okay. Nice. 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 This is what good crosshair placement feels like when you get the insta kill. Okay, so what I'm watching on your screen, when I swing, you're kind of dragging your crosshair a little bit instead of having a wider crosshair initially. So let's run through the scenarios, okay? Just come close.
okay.
And then, how do I explain this? Let me go on your team and just ping. Okay, so scenario 1 is I swing tight and you had your crosshair wide. So I'm gonna put it in red ping. Fuck, what's the ping on this fucking keybinds? What is ping? Middle mouse. Okay, so this is where you're holding,
Here.
blue. Maybe stand right next to me and then, or sorry, on top of me, like behind me, and then I'll crouch. Okay, so you're holding here.
Here.
Yep. But then I actually swung tight.
Careful.
What I want you to do is actually shoot here
Here.
because you trust your crosshair placement and then adjust after, right? So trust your first burst and then you would strafe and shoot next. Basically, I don't want you to actually move your crosshair. I just want you to shoot.
Okay.
So if you're then holding too tightly, let's say you're holding on this red ping over here, and I swing to
Watching here.
whatever that new color ping is, just shoot and then you would adjust after. Like you would basically just don't move your crosshair when you shoot, and get into that habit, so that when you do actually predict correctly, you can get the insta kill rather than adding that extra processing delay.
I see.
I don't know if that's how everyone does it, because there are some pros that do react to the movement, but as a good base point, it is better just to shoot and trust your crosshair placement and then just try again with your strafe. That's what the second strafe is for the second attempt. Your first attempt should just be hoping for the insta kill that you guessed correctly.
Okay.
Okay, let's go back down there. Okay. Ready?
Mhm.
Okay. Keep going. Perfect. You see how that was the insta kill? That was good.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. 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 Yeah, that 4 ping is something. Nice. like that. And you see how I jiggled you out there and you still shot? That's good. That is actually what's going to happen a lot when like you play higher ranks. They're going to try to bait your shot when you jiggle, but you shouldn't adjust for that. You should still shoot that first angle, because the more common thing that happens is when they swing into you like this and then you punish, right? So like there's no threat of you dying if they're jiggling, so there's no reason for you to change the crosshair.
Okay.
And I want you to remember this a year into the future if you're still playing this game, because that's probably when you're getting into high stress situations when let's say you're trying to fight me in this box and you're really scared this guy's going to swing you. What you might do in like more advanced games when they start doing this is you would be tempted to adjust and aim at this guy, but you should hold wide the entire time until they finally commit to the swing.
Okay.
I don't know if that made sense, but basically don't fall for the jiggle.
Okay, they're trying to trick me.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, because like the only way you die from a jiggle is if they pre-fire you like this, which that only really happens at the pro level. So you'll probably like get body tagged, worst case scenario, but you'll rarely die to the jiggle pre-fire. So okay, let's get a couple more reps on this, and then we'll go into the peeking technique. Because right now you're angle holding. I feel like this is the easier thing to drill, but the peeking technique is more important. But yeah, let's keep going for a couple more. Ready?
Okay. Yes.
Good. I swear I didn't have a chance. Okay. So ideally, obviously, it's a little bit quicker you kill me on the second. Your insta kills are getting better, which is good. Okay, I'm gonna reset the game and let's meet on A site.
Intimately and still wants to inflict it. Such a shame.
So I just want you to hold top A ramp, and we'll do the same one here, and then we'll move on to the peeking. Ready?
Yes. I won.
It's paused. You can keep going. You're good though.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness.
Okay, small thing. Can you actually switch to see my screen share?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in windowed, so it might be a little bit laggy, but what you're doing when you're shooting and then I strafe, you're trailing me, right? So you're really slow behind. What you kind of want to do instead, which is going to sound a little bit crazy, but just bear with me. If you see I'm strafing to the left, take your first shot and then flick to the left to try to get in front of me so that you have two leading shots. Basically what's happening when you're angle holding here you're anticipating that I swing into you, so you lead the shot and you just click. And then if I'm continue strafing left, you want to flick in front so you have a chance to lead the shot again if I'm running into you. Basically just imagining like an imaginary target just running in here and you're just trying to time the click as it runs into it. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
So instead of being behind me as I strafe, just try to flick in front of me faster so that you can make it quicker. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see what that looks like. That did look better though. That did look better. We just maybe did it a little bit too much because of the strafe, but that is the right idea. Let's keep going. We'll just drill it for a couple times.
Oops.
It doesn't even have to be that much of a flick. It's just how far you think I'm gonna strafe. Like you're kind of intuitively trying to predict it.
Okay. Oops.
What's up, OD? Okay, I'd say that's acceptable. Acceptable.
Once
How you
more,
feeling?
battle.
Tired?
I'm not tired.
I got
Are
it.
you?
I
Okay,
got it.
okay. Let's work on the peeking technique next. Where should we start? Mid? Let's do mid.
Okay.
Working and bored. How do you feel? I am working, but not bored. Okay. So how should we approach this? Let's do it to where they could be walked out mid, because that's the example we saw since we were playing a bit slower. So what we saw in your game, you were kind of close here in clearing mid. Let's kind of back up so you can kind of slice it one by one. So just walk with me here. I'll identify the angles I want you to clear. So the first one is going to be this one, this box area. That's 1. The next one is kind of like on this mid walk down, somewhere in this area. 2. 3 is going to be this box. I'm going to be holding somewhere like this into mid. And then 4th is going to be ropes. I'm going to be somewhere like this. And then 5th is just going to be on this angle here. So what it might look like is you're coming out this back wall here. 1, this box. 2, oh wait, I kind of messed up. Let's go back. 1, and then you just step out again for 2 on the walkout. Then 3 for this box. And then you might walk up a bit forward so you don't run into this pillar. And then you'd peek out for this ropes angle. And then you'd walk out again for the wide angle here along this thing. So I'll walk through it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 is along. I'll stand there so you can see it. I'm holding this basically.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So let's just work at it one at a time. So let's work on this angle first. I'll stand here and hold you.
So where should I be starting here?
You can start slightly back so you're not exposed to anything. So as basically, yeah, somewhere like there. Basically, you want to be as far back as you can when you're approaching these, but also keep it fluid. So that is a good distance right there. And you can kind of tell because your back is on this wall here, or at least close to it.
Okay.
Okay. Good. And something I'll add as a thing as a rule is that all of your peaks here should be silent peaks. So I think we talked about this before, so I'm just gonna quiz you, I guess. What is a silent peak?
I don't remember.
That's
I remember us talking about how there was a way to do it, but every time I've tried to do it in customs, like I'm unable to. So I don't know if I'm just taking full steps, and so it makes the sound.
Yeah, there is a limit. So right now what you're doing is a proper silent peak. The way Zasco frames it is like you don't want to take any, I think I said this in the other time, but like no less than 2 steps and no more. So if you take more than 2 steps, you start making noise. And if you take less than 2 steps, you don't move enough and you start accidentally shoulder peaking angles. So anytime you do a silent peak in this game, it should be ideally 2 steps.
Like that?
So that's probably a
I can
bit
still hear
wider.
this.
Yeah, that's probably too wide. That's probably too many steps. That's like 2.5, I would say. You could probably undercut it too. Like anything in the range of like 1.5 to 2 steps is probably good.
Okay.
But I would say it's more important to not like overthink this stuff. I'm just telling you that so you have an idea, but this is all intuition. Like let's try to develop the feel, and that's kind of what this drill is for. So just keep that in the back of your head, but don't put it in the front of mind. Let's just get the reps in and just feel it out. But try to keep it all silent steps, and if you mess up, that's okay. Just try again, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so go this angle here.
Am I peeking?
Yeah,
still?
honestly, I'm not sure if I should be hiding or moving or what, but okay. I'll go to the next one.
So you want me to still shoot here?
Yeah, we probably should do the 1 and 2. Yeah, so start with the first one and then move on to the second.
Oops.
That's okay. For that box angle, you'd want to be more in cover before you expose to it. So right now you see, yeah, exactly. Do that first.
Oh, okay.
So that one was a little bit far because I could see your shoulder. Good. Good. Okay, so that one I saw your shoulder. So that means that we're not slicing it properly. That means we're taking too wide of a strafe. That one's good. That one's good. That passes.
Oops.
Okay, let's add another thing here. Let's slow it down a little bit. So what you're doing right now is you're strafing out, clearing the box angle, and then you're strafing back into cover. Just strafe out, but then don't move. Shoot, and then strafe out again. Yep. Perfect, perfect.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that one, I see your shoulder. So we'll have to make sure we correct this first one, that you never exposed to me. So that one's good. That one's bad. I can see your shoulder right now.
Ah.
So that means that maybe you could either back up to make it a little bit further from the angle. That's option 1. And option 2 is to actually set up further from the angle. I don't know if this is making sense right now, but maybe take a look at my screen real quick. So there's a couple things you can tweak, right? If you're trying to slice this angle here, you could either go more like further left side of this angle. So when you finish the strafe, you end earlier, right? End earlier. Because if I'm like out here and then I strafe 2 steps, I'm exposed. That's what's happening to you right now. Because we're actually too close. So when the part of the setup is knowing how far the angle is. So when you take 2 steps, you end exactly onto it. 2 steps, exact. And this just comes from intuition. Like sometimes people do crosshair lineups and all that stuff. Don't do that. Just intuition.
Okay.
So this is reps. This is 2 steps. I'm not exposing to this upper angle here. What's happening for us is we're ending slightly wider. So now you can see the shoulder. It's not that much of a distance. It's very subtle, but this is good. And then you can move on to the next one without exposing your shoulder. And that just all comes from the setup first. So we'll work on that first. I'll be on this wide angle here,
Okay.
and then I want you to set up properly so that you can 2 steps out and actually isolate without exposing to the second.
Okay, so you're more like in here,
Yes.
but how do I? Okay. Like that?
Try again.
Well,
Okay, so when you strafe out, stop so I can check my screen. So right now I see
Okay.
a little bit of your shoulder, so that
Wow.
one's off. That one looks good. Yeah, that one is acceptable. That one is
I worry
acceptable.
about it being too like
Too tight?
too
Or
tight. Yeah.
yeah, so that's probably because we aren't getting enough of a movement. Like we aren't actually taking 2 steps, which actually might mean that you need to go more left on the angle here. But it could be, if you're standing kind of where I am right now, and then you go 2 steps, this is probably acceptable. Physical distance between close to the wall too obviously makes a difference. So that looks good. Okay, so I see your shoulder there. Maybe this is just one of those angles that's really hard to isolate. Let's not worry too much about this. Let's just keep moving on.
Okay.
But as long as the first peak looks pretty good and you feel like you're not exposing to the second, then you move on to the second, that's good. I would say that's acceptable. And make sure you do it in that cadence, in the sense that when you peek out, you let go of the keyboard, like you aren't doing any more movements. Anytime you peek, you should be confident. Like when you slice, you should be confident that if they are in that segment, you just micro adjust. So let's say like you peeked me right now, but then I'm actually here. Wait. Okay, wait, sorry, peek. don't do anything, just peek out. Okay, so notice how your crosshair's on me right now. But pretend like I was actually over here. You wouldn't actually move, you would just micro adjust. So micro adjust? Yeah, exactly. So that would be what would happen. So you would strafe out, stop, see where I am, and then adjust to shoot if you need to. Exactly.
Okay.
But in this case, I'm probably on the normal angle you would pre-aim anyways. So you should be able to insta-kill me normally. But like, I guess theoretically, let's say I'm back here. Go for it. Well, pre-aim like the way you did before.
Okay.
Yep, exactly.
Well, but then it's 2.
Yeah, and maybe that's just how this angle is. So I guess that's just probably how that angle is. Sometimes that will happen, but that's the idea at least. Okay, so you run through those 2 first angles again. I'm just gonna look at your screen.
Oh,
Try again?
that was probably too low.
Just make sure when you're peeking the first angle, you're hidden. Right now we're covered a little bit. Yeah, and let's get that crosshair placement a little bit lower. Yeah, that's good. What you'll notice is the crosshair placement, you can line up with this. You see the like,
Oh, right.
Yeah. It could be slightly lower than that. Okay. A little bit more left, because when you're setting up for that angle, if I was on this angle, I might be able to see your shoulder. Yeah, that was good. That was a good one. We didn't make noise, so maybe you could scoot over just a little bit, but this is good. Yeah, there's a good silence up there. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Let's add the third angle. So that's the first 2, and then the third one will be ropes up here.
Okay. Oops. And then.
Oh, actually, you're right. You're right. It's the box. It's the box. I forgot about the box. This is the third one.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3.
Yep. 1, 2, 3.
Oops. Let's see. I was up way too high. Okay.
That's okay. Keep going. Sound like I have an off or something. Okay, so notice how on that one, you're exposing a little bit to the rope angle. That probably means we're a little bit too close to the wall. Try to peek the third angle without exposing at all into ropes.
Okay.
So slightly ropes there, yeah. Yep. Okay. So, take a look at my screen again. Okay, so let's go over the basics really quickly. If I'm trying to peek this box angle, I need to set up so it's 2 strafes out. Boom, 2 strafes. If the next angle isn't necessarily 2 strafes, it might make sense for you to back up slightly so that you can go 2 strafes. We don't have to do that here, because that's both 2 steps and you're exposing to the next angle. But when you do 2 steps on this next one, it could be potentially that you're exposing to ropes, because the 2 steps might naturally put you into it. So every time you think about a new angle, you should think about your setup already. Okay, this setup feels good. I'm in a good spot. 2 strafes on the angle. Perfect. Next angle, 2 strafes on the angle. Good. Okay, maybe this one I'm a bit too close. So 2 steps out, I should maybe back up for the 2 steps on this one. Okay, now if I 2 strafes, 2 steps and peek out for this box angle, will I expose to ropes? Maybe. So I'm going to go a little bit more left. 2 steps out. And then I'm going to 2 steps for ropes, right? You can use shift, the shift key, to act as a way for you to get set up for your next peek. It doesn't always have to be silent peek after silent peek after silent peek after silent peek. You could do that, but you could silent peek, shift around a little bit to get set up for the next one. Silent peek, shift around for the next one. Silent peek, shift around for the next one. Just to make sure you get set up. That's more important. There are some parts of the map where you could just back-to-back silent peek like that every single time and you just get away with it. But sometimes, like you'll notice here actually, peek, peek, peek. And then as I'm walking up to this ropes angle, I'll actually silent peek to set up for the 4th one. Because I like to do it from here personally. I don't like to do it from all the way back here on these 4th. Because like if I take ropes angle like this, normally I lose it. It's just a intuition thing in terms of how I take that angle. But most of the time it's peek, peek, back up a little bit, peek, shift up, and then peek this. And notice how it doesn't have to always be next to each other. You can take the time to make sure that you're already on the same spot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so with that said, let's kind of go through the full sequence here, and let's do the repetition from where you see me do it. Try to absorb as much as you can from observing, and then I'll just have you do it without saying much else. So let me go ahead and start. Okay, so that's one. I'll do it 3 more times. Yep. Oop, messed that one up. Give it your go.
Okay. Oops.
It's okay.
Too early. Okay. I'll have you watch my screen again. I'm just going to add some counting to it to make it a little bit easier to follow. And I'll have you try it again. You ready? Mm-hmm.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Do that a couple more times. Counting the angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might notice I changed the way I approach some of these angles. That's literally just all intuition because it feels a bit uncomfortable. But the important thing is that I'm slicing each angle one by one, and it doesn't actually matter which angle or how you do it as long as you're isolated. So like I could take angle 3 from back here, or from back here, or from back here. It's pretty much the same as long as it's isolated. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm gonna walk out for that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, give it a go.
Okay. One, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4, 5.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Shit. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. 1, 1. Let's see. 1.
That's good. Keep going. Sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. 3, 4, 5.
Okay, perfect. Let's make this a bit easier as well. For some reason, your decals don't disappear. So I'm going to just stand on the angle. I want you to shoot me and then shoot behind me to put decals on the wall. So this is angle 1. Go ahead. Just peek out and shoot me. Yeah. And then I'm going to crouch and then you just shoot where my head was. To put it in the wall, the bullet in the wall.
Oh.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, I'm going to go to angle 2. Okay, and I'm going to crouch. Do the same thing for this box. Angle 3. Okay, same for ropes.
Oops.
Okay, and then we'll do this last one here. Angle 5, somewhere here. And for this 5th angle here, there's actually a couple. So here's another one.
Okay.
Okay. And let's see what that looks like on your screen.
Okay. Was it this one?
Honestly, I don't remember. I think so. Yep. Oh wait, they are disappearing. Huh. For some reason they weren't disappearing for a while, but The ropes one disappeared. So that's the first thing I wanted to add. The second thing is when you're moving up, like I want you to be able to do it all silent. So feel free to use your shift key however you like. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't remember how far out this one is.
Yeah, you can do that one from the inside. It looks like the decals are disappearing now for some reason, but
Why was that in there?
if it helps, don't forget you can count too. I don't know if that helps. It helps me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep. And just try to do it silent steps. Go ahead and keep shooting if that helps. And then, yeah, go for it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe it's just easier to do them all from in there.
You could.
And
You just have to make sure you're really ready for that fourth one, the ropes angle, because that's a very lethal angle. Okay, let's do this with some actual feedback. So I'm gonna pick one of the 5 positions, and you're just gonna keep going through it. And if I'm there, I'm gonna try to kill you. So your goal is to peek it perfectly and kill me before I kill you.
okay.
And if you kill me, just continue the sequence. Okay.
Okay.
And I won't be able to give you feedback vocally. I'll just try to give you feedback by killing you. So if you died to it, that either means that you did it poorly or you weren't as ready enough. So I can't see your screen basically, so I'm just gonna have to try to punish you by in-game shooting.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'll let you know when to start walking out because I have to get set up in each angle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 1 second. Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Good. And let me set up in a new one.
And should I still go 1,
Yeah,
2, 3, 4, 5?
exactly.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh no.
It's okay. Let me set up. Okay, go ahead. Nice. And you can finish out the rep too if you want. I don't know if it's better. What do
I
you think?
forgot. No, it's okay. I just forgot because got the feedback.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it probably is best to finish out the rep each time. Okay, let me set up in a new spot. Okay, ready? Go. And you can finish out the rep if you want. Okay. Let me set up in a different one. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So since I was exposed.
Yeah, so we were exposed a little bit on the ropes angle there. So ideally you're able to clear the ropes angle without seeing me.
Okay. So let me try that again.
Okay. Yeah, let me set up in a new one. Okay, go ahead. Yep, you can keep going if you want. Yep. It's a bit hard to get these angles down in terms of not exposing to each. Not everyone's perfect with this. Okay, let me pick a new one. Okay, go ahead. Okay. How'd that one feel? Because I can't see your screen, so just keep that in mind.
I think I was a little above you. I was up here.
I gotcha.
So let's see. Hmm.
Nice. I feel like that one was good. I didn't have time to react, so that's probably a good one.
Was back here, which is the really tight one. So I'm trying to see. Let's see.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you see me when I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to see where I can get 3 without being exposed to 4. Can you see me here?
No.
Okay, so maybe like in between. And then here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let me try that again.
Oh.
Oh, and then I forgot to finish with this one.
Yep. That one you might have to just do from either like do it tight, or you might just have to commit to the wide swing. This one just might be one of those angles that's not ideal. Like you might have to tight peek it from here, or you might have to swing wide and then get exposed to the off angle when I'm out. I feel like that is, this is probably just one of those angles that has it, but yeah. Then from there, yeah. That's probably is a better way to do it. Like do 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
and 4 all from inside, and then do 5 when you're out.
Yeah. Oops, I did. That was 3.
Oh, gotcha. Oh. Nice.
Oops. Oh, wait.
Yeah, that 3 and 4 seems to be the hardest, going from 3 to 4.
'Cause
Maybe
they're
when
so close to each other.
yeah, maybe when you go from 3 to 4, you could shift walk back a little bit to make sure you have that 2-step distance again.
Okay.
Or sorry, maybe it's more accurate to say when you're transitioning from 2 to 3, so that your 3 doesn't expose the 4, like the setup for, yeah. can see your shoulder very briefly there.
Okay.
Okay, I suck, but to be fair, if I had an op on that angle, that would probably be hard. Yeah, this is realistic though, I would say. This might be one of those angles that if they have an op, you just wouldn't be able to take. Because this is very opsided, like unless they miss, which I do suck at, but nice. Okay, let's try the angle clearing from mid into B. We have in here. So I'll just have you watch my screen, and then I'll run through it, and then you'll just replicate it. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's start from here. And let's make the assumption that this is 4 as well, okay. Let's make the assumption that this is smoked off. And that this angle is clear, okay? Let's just go ahead and make that assumption.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll count these again. So
Can you ping them to where you're hitting?
oh yeah. So I'm going up here. 1. Oops. My ping button's something different. This is 1. Ping. And then I'm walking up here left. I don't know what the map key is on this account. 2.
Here.
Now I'm walking up here. 3.
Here.
And now I'm walking up to this left one here. 4.
Here.
And what I want you really to notice is like where my crosshair is as I'm transitioning. So as I'm coming up to 1, I'm holding this. Coming up to 1. Now I'm here on 1.
Here.
Coming up to 2, pre-aim.
Here.
Coming up to 3, I'm kind of pre-aiming here. 3.
Here.
Then I'm coming back to 4. I'm tracing the edge here until I get close enough to AD so I can go from here. Because if you try to go to 4 from here, you're going to get stuck. So I'm tracing it until I'm at the same height or close enough to where the step takes me up. Okay, so I'll just run through it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. See how that looks.
Okay. So 1.
Yep.
2.
You can back up for that one.
Oh. 3. And then 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're exposing the 2 on that one. Let's take it in steps. Let's do 1 and 2 first. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. So for the, let's make sure the setup is good for 1. So let's go all the way back down to the ramp. Like on the floor. Yeah. Then walk up to 1. And get that pre-aim properly. Yep. Good.
Oh, because there's the steps, so I have to go lower than I think.
Yeah, yep. And when you finish 1, don't expose it 2. So that comes from how far you are horizontally. Like when you finish your 2 steps, you want to end on this angle. Yep. Yep. Good. That angle here is a bit elusive. Let me stand on it so you can kind of see what you're supposed to see. This is where I'll be standing, somewhere here.
Okay.
You also might want to pre-aim for this one too, slightly, or like here. A lot of people will hold this angle. So when you come up, you don't want to expose to that as you're going up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
You do it from backing up, not getting closer.
Oh.
Yeah, but not too far
But how
back.
do
Yeah,
let's
so
see.
you'll do it from there.
like that?
Yep. So maybe it'll help if you stand in this corner. I'll do it to you. So you
Okay.
stand here. Yeah. Like I'm not quite on this ledge yet. I'm just like about to come up.
Okay.
So let's do it in sections again. So start with 1, 2, 3, and then we'll clean up 4 if we need to.
From the bottom of the
Sure,
ramp?
sure. Make sure the setup on all of these are good.
Okay.
Okay. You might expose the 2 slightly when you do that one, so maybe let's try to clean up the 1 first. I would say that one was
Okay.
good. Okay. To check, let me actually go in 2, and then I'll look at your screen. So
Okay.
keep going. Okay, I don't see you on that one, so I would say that's a pass. That's good. Yep. Okay, I think I saw you for that one. That one's good.
Okay, so I should be farther away, I guess.
Well, that's part of it. Remember, it's important on where you start the strafe. So like if I start my peak from here, and even if I'm back here, I might finish here, but if I start from closer up and I finish, like I'm gonna be in the open. So like your starting position is maybe more important in terms of like where you are on the ramp in this case. Because like you're trying to think about 2 steps, right? So like if your 2 steps can take you the same distance, but if you start in a further up spot, you're gonna end deeper. So hopefully that made sense and didn't overcomplicate it. Yeah, that's good, I think. Yeah, okay, that looks good. Let's move on to 3 and 4. So I'll go ahead and go to 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
This one's tough. You might actually have a bit easier time if you could like trace it as you come up. I'm not sure how people normally take this.
Watching here.
Technically, I could be on the off angle here too. So it's like not very much. I'm restricted because if I go too wide, I'll get exposed to deep mid. So it's gonna be like either corner or here.
I'm trying to compensate for the ramp, but it's hard to
It is.
see. Maybe just like that. Okay, so if I'm, let's see, if I do 1 here, 2 here.
It is hard, isn't it?
Okay.
Let's make sure the setup is the most important. So how do you want to set up for this 3rd one? Like where would you stand? And then make sure it's 2 steps out and then you get the fight, right? So it's all about in the setup. So
Let's see. Like that?
yeah, is that 2 steps?
Do you mean like the thump thump from the footsteps?
Like yeah, maybe 2 steps is not very accurate. Is it a silent peak and like are you going wide enough?
Oh. No.
You might have to start a bit further back. Like to the right, sorry. Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Oh, that actually makes it easier because I'm not on the ramp yet.
You go up very slightly, yeah. Go through the 1, 2, 3. And as you get to 3, you can shift peek up, just for the feel of it. You don't have to. Oh, sorry, not that one. Do 1 and 2 again. And then from here, shift walk to get to your setup of 3.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, nice. Okay, go ahead and do that again. 1, 2, 3. Yep, and do it again. Yep, looks good. Now let's transition from 3 to 4. So you're probably gonna shift walk to your setup to 4 as well.
Hmm. Wait.
Yeah, do 3 and then transition to 4. I think going from that sequence will make more sense.
Okay.
That's a good way to do it too if you want to go on the ledge. Okay, start from 3 again. Make sure your 3 setup is good. Yep. That one looked good. Obviously the crosshair placement could have used work, but the actual like path you took was good, I think.
Okay.
Path you took. Something that we're doing is, as you're kind of doing this, our preem is like pretty close in the wall. You might just benefit from moving it further away, just slightly.
What do you mean?
Towards the edge.
On this one?
On all of them.
Oh. You mean like this?
Yeah, a bit more, yeah. Not hard to explain, but
Like that?
maybe it's more
like not in the wall.
Let me try to run through it so you can see it. Okay. Can you see?
Yes.
So as you're kind of setting up for this one, it feels like your crosshair is very hardcore on the right side. I feel like you could benefit from pushing it a little bit more to the left when we come here. And same for when you're going into 4. Your crosshair is like hardcore in this. You could trace the edge first as you're walking up, and then you go for the pre-aim. Right, so you're going into 3, trace, 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 pre-aim, peek, trace, 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 pre-aim, peek. That's kind of what you want to do, because the reason why you want to trace is just in case they peek you. Because imagine as you're walking up, this guy peeks you, then you don't want your crosshair stuck in the wall. So you want to trace until you're at the setup, and then you peek out. I guess if you want to trace and you're hard clearing the corner, you would pre-aim deeper. Trace, 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 then peek. Just a very like soft micro adjustment into the wall. Trace, 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 just peek. Okay.
Okay. So like if I'm starting my setup from here, I should be like...
You would be tracing until you're close to the setup. So in this case, you would be tracing from lower on the ramp. Yeah, like around here, yeah.
So after I do 1,
2.
after I do 2.
Yeah, and then you immediately go into the trace and shift walk. Yep. And then you go for the pre-aim.
Okay. Also, I forgot to... It's a little confusing with the double sound. So.
Oh, sorry.
So like that.
Yeah, so notice how you took steps forward there? Instead of taking steps forward, you would shift walk to get closer. And you'd be tracing as you kind of do it. I don't know if that made any sense, but maybe I can show it. I'll walk through the sequence again.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so 1. Oops, I didn't mean to shoot. 1, 2. And I'm shifting, tracing, shifting, tracing. I'm walking up. This is my setup now. I'm like here. I'm set up, and then pre-aim, peek. So I'll do that again. I'll do it from here. Oh. 1, 2. Shift, trace. I set up here. Peek, pre-aim, peek. Back up.
Okay.
I'll do it from here. Peek, 1, 2. Shift, trace. I'm set up. Peek. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that looks good.
And then same here.
Yeah, but as you're shift walking up there, you would be tracing and not putting your crosshair in the wall.
Oh, right.
Yes, yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
Yep. Crosshair on that last one is going to be pretty high, so I'll stand on the 4th one so you can get this one a little bit better. Yeah, it is pretty high on this.
Okay.
The thing is, it is pretty high.
Okay. Oh, that one's too high too.
I think so, yeah. Trace. Good. Frame. Good. Trace. Good. Frame.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Can I just start from here?
Go for it.
Oh.
Good. Yeah, that one's always a bit awkward. That looks good.
What the? Wait, can you stand over on this one?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so like here. Okay.
Good. Then I'll go back here. Good. Yeah, that's good. Let's wrap up there because I gotta go in a minute. But
Yeah.
no, you're good. I would say that would be the forefront of what I would put for this week. So last week we were working on just the actual gunfight hygiene part of things. And this week, let's kind of continue with that in terms of the training and the range, and of course, in the range, but adding some custom time and deathmatch time to where we're working on the peaking technique properly. Because the actual setup of the fight, as you can tell, it is a bit newer. Like it doesn't come as naturally compared to the angle holding. So that's kind of where we have to put in a bit more time. So for this week, I guess I'll bold these two things. I guess the angle holding reaction is something you'll just have to do passively in deathmatch or something, but the peaking technique is really the big one. And for this, let's just move this to another day. Like we don't have to worry about this.
Okay.
So I guess if we're going back from the routine we had last time, same stuff here, kill bots left to right, jump on ledge, tracking, eliminate 50. Keep all of this stuff, BPM, spraying, all of this. I think it's good. We'll just have to add in some custom time because we don't have that now. So maybe what we would replace, or maybe this would be an addition. Let's cut down on the death matches potentially. Let me think a bit more. I think keeping all of this is good, but maybe the actual time spent total for all of these would go down. Keep the death matches the same. We'll add 6 here. custom peeking technique, walking around the map, making sure to do 2 steps, or I guess to do a silent peek on each angle, and then trying not to expose to another angle. So I guess maybe I'll make a checklist. Custom peeking technique checklist. Let me back up. So number 1 would be all of your angle clears are done with a silent peek. You aren't exposing to the next angle when you've completed the angle you're on, if that makes sense. You aren't exposing to another angle. And then make sure your setup, or no, let's do crosshair. Crosshair placement is at head height. This probably should be the first one. I think if you're able to kind of complete all 3 on the checklist, so crosshairs at head height, angle clears are done with silent peek, and you aren't exposing to the next angle when you completed the angle you're on, you're good. Maybe the other thing I'll add is don't add extra movement after you complete your peek. So basically you just peek and stop. Some people like peek and add that little sidestep thing. I don't know if that makes sense, but maybe I'll...
Yeah, I tended to go into cover. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like some people will peek out and come... Yeah, exactly. Just like peek out and then kind of keep going. Or if you need to keep going without a peek, you'll just shift up until you get to your setup and then peek again. That makes sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. Any questions for me?
Nope. Thank you so much. Sorry, this went a little over.
No, you're good. You're good. Let me know if you have questions throughout the week. But it's good. I think our implementation from last week is headed in the right direction. So this is the next most obvious thing to keep to work on mechanically is the peeking technique, and of course the angle holding stuff. But that's you probably have to do that passively in deathmatch because you can't really work on that in a custom unless you have a buddy.
Sounds good.
Cool. I'll let you go, and like I said, if you have questions, just hit me up.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well. You take care. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Peace. All right, chat. Do have to hop out of here. I'm running a little bit late for coaching sessions, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that and learned something. I think I saw some channel point redemptions that I'll have to refund, I think, because I wasn't able to pay attention to those. But you guys take care, and if you guys are interested in the Pixel coaching that is on Wednesday, same time, and for Pat's coaching, those videos are now being uploaded to the second YouTube channel, which I don't know if I have a command for, but it's just Dopai Coaching on YouTube if you guys want to see the edited, cut down version of the session. So yeah, you guys take care. Peace. Learn something every time? Heck yeah.